At the end of the day, the way Indiana came at me with everything they promised me and they keeping their promise, they sold me. And I took the bait for it, and I'm happy to be back where I started and also being back with Coach, and Kelly, and also Amber as well, bringing her along. It's just a blessing to be back where I started, and also for my family and friends to also see me back where I started at as well. Just amazing and a grateful feeling to be back in a Indiana Fever jersey.
What happens when a three-time WNBA champ joins forces with the most talked about player in years, Natasha Howard's arrival at the Indiana Fever isn't just another trade, it's a game changer.
Yo, what's up, fans? I'm happy to be a Fever. You see me? See me? You see me? You see me with this on? Yeah, I'm back, baby. I'm back where I started. Let's go.
But here's the real question. How will Howard, a seasoned vet, mesh with Caitlin Clark? Their dynamic could make or break the Fever's chances. In this video, we'll break down how her addition will make this team a WNBA champion and what she really thinks about Clark and Indiana. Stick around, because we'll also reveal an exclusive bombshell the Indiana Fever just dropped about Howard that no one saw coming.
When I was on that stage press conference, I kind of got emotional a little bit. Like, wow, I'm back here again where I started, and just how Stephanie White was speaking so highly of me. Like, I'm like, this is where I need to be at, and this is where I belong, and I'm just so happy to be able to come back and handle some unfinished business.
Picture this, a three-time WNBA champion walks into the Indiana Fever's locker room. But this isn't just any player, it's Natasha Howard returning to where her professional journey began. It's a homecoming that's got everyone talking, and for good reason.
List of accomplishments are long. People say you should have a one-page resume. Natasha cannot have that. It is several pages. Three-time champion, two-time All-Star, Defensive Player of the Year, Most Improved Player. I mean, again, the list goes on and on and on.
Let's rewind the clock. Howard's career kicked off right here in Indiana when the Fever selected her with the 5th pick in the 2014 WNBA draft. Fast forward to today, and she's not just any player anymore. She's a seasoned veteran with multiple championships under her belt. So why would a player of her caliber choose to return to a young UPenn coming team like the Fever? She could have gone anywhere. What's really driving Howard's decision?
This is a tremendous, not only tremendous player, but a tremendous person. And what she's done the last 9 years in her career has put her in the elite company of many athletes and many players in this league. So, I want to say thank you to Natasha and to her family for coming back to us. Because when a player returns to a place that drafted them, that's special. And she chose us because she could have gone anywhere.
The answer might surprise you. When Howard stepped back into the Fever's facility, something unexpected happened. She saw her original Fever jersey from 2014, and it hit her hard. In her own words, it's a blessing to be back, to be honest. Just how Stephanie White spoke so highly of me, like I'm back where I need to be, and this is where I belong. It's not just about basketball for Howard, it's about coming home.
The person that's sitting next to me is of high integrity, high class, great teammate. Players in this league love her. So welcoming her back, putting her on the floor with our guards, there's a reason why her nickname is Flash.
But there's more to this story. Howard keeps mentioning unfinished business from her earlier stint with the Fever. What's that all about? Well, it turns out she's referring to the 2015 finals, where the Fever came so close to winning it all, but fell just short. That loss has been gnawing at her all these years, and now she's back to settle the score.
Coach Steph is always being on my butt about hustling, working hard. Do the little things, because the little things going to take you a long way. And when I got the minutes that I played my rookie year, I took every advantage of it. And I'm happy to be back next to her, playing with her and her coaching me.
Now, you might be wondering, just how good is Natasha Howard? Let's break it down. Last season, she put up some eye-popping numbers. We're talking about 18 points and 7 rebounds per game. That's not just good, that's elite. Those stats put her right up there with some of the biggest names in the game.
Last season, with a minimum of 25 games played, Natasha Howard was one of just 13 players to average 18 points per game. She was one of 16 players to average 7 rebounds per game. And the list of players to average both 18 and 7 last year, short and elite. A'ja Wilson, Breanna Stewart, Napheesa Collier, Brittany Griner, and yes, Natasha Howard.
But here's where it gets really interesting. The Fever isn't just getting a star player, they're getting a game changer. Howard's versatility is off the charts. She can stretch the floor, create space for her teammates, and cause all kinds of headaches for opposing defenses. And for a young core like the Fevers with players like Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, and Kelsey Mitchell, that's absolutely.
All of that, and we haven't yet touched upon what Howard does best: defend. Howard was named Defensive Player of the Year in 2019 and has finished in the top 10 of the Defensive Player of the Year voting 3 times in her career. Howard has averaged at least 1 block and 1 steal per game in each of her last 7 seasons. And that versatility is really what makes her a weapon on defense.
So can one player really change everything for a team in this case? It just might. The Fever have been rebuilding for a while now, and they've got some serious young talent. But what they've been missing is that veteran presence, someone who knows how to win at the highest level. That's exactly what Howard brings to the table. That wingspan and 6'2" height allows her to be disruptive defensively around the rim on opposing bigs. In fact, Howard will enter the 2025 season 25th all-time in blocks in WNBA history. But what does Howard see in this young Fever team that others might be missing? It's not just about talent, it's about potential. Howard's got her eye on the big picture. She's not just here to play, she's here to build something special. Here's Howard's true motivation for coming back to Indiana. In her own words, "I want to show this young group what it takes to win a championship. I have 3. So my thing is to show them you can't take any days off, and practice. You have to think when you practice. It's the way you play. This isn't just about adding another star to the roster. It's about changing the entire culture of the team. We have the talent, but first of all, we have the people to actually do it. So my thing is, like, I'm happy, like I said, to be a part of this and also bring the leadership and the desire to show this young group what it takes to win a championship. I have 3. So my thing is, like, to show them you can't take no days off in practice.
We have the talent, but first of all, we have the people to actually do it. So my thing is, like, I'm happy, like I said, to be a part of this and also bring the leadership and the desire to show the young group what it takes to win a championship. I have 3, so my thing is, like, to show them you can't take no days off in practice. You gotta think, like, you practice, it's the way how you play. So my thing is, like, coming in, I'm just gonna show them, like, this is how you work hard. So when you work hard, it's gonna be easy in the game. It won't be as hard. So my thing is just bringing that championship mentality to the locker room and to this team and just guiding this team.
You got to think when you practice, it's the way how you play. So my thing, like, come in, I'm just going to show them, like, this is how you work hard. So when you work hard, going to be easy in the game. It won't be as hard. So my thing is just bringing that championship mentality to the locker room, into this team, and in just guiding this team. The Fever's management is over the moon about Howard's return. And it's not hard to see why they're not just getting a great player, they're getting a leader. Men are someone who can show their young stars the steps needed to succeed in the league. Howard's character and leadership qualities are exactly what this team needs to take the next step.
Whether she was on the floor or not, she was mentoring young players. She was giving direction, advice, and was always selfless in everything that she did. And I tell you what, guys, I fell in love with her. I was so excited about the opportunity to bring her here. Natasha, thank you so much for your faith and your trust in us. I think this is going to be an awesome experience, and welcome home.
Let's talk about the superstar sensation that's got everyone buzzing. Caitlin Clark's arrival in the WNBA has sent shockwaves through the league. But is the hype really justified? Well, if you ask Natasha Howard, the answer is a resounding yes. I'm just really excited to also play with Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Mitchell, Aaliyah Boston, like to the player that that I also say stuff on the court to them when I'm, like, playing against them. But I'm happy I'm playing with them. I'm not against them, no. More picture this: a 3-time WNBA champion stepping onto the court alongside a point guard who's just shattered WNBA history during her freshman season. You might think there'd be some tension, right? After all, Howard's made it clear she wants to shine bright in her return to Indiana. But here's where it gets interesting. Howard's not just excited about playing with Clark, she's downright thrilled. Caitlin in particular, what do you see from her game during her rookie year, and just what's in excitement level playing with someone like that who just changed the whole landscape? She spread a floor by shooting as she could dictate to the floor at the point guard, as she's an amazing passer. So I can't wait to run the floor and get those passes. She just grown just this past season, just like how she take the game day by day, and also just learning from other players and stuff. So I'm just really excited to be a part of this team, and also ready to catch your passes. I can't wait to run the floor and get those passes Howard gushed during a recent press conference. And can you blame her? Clark's debut season at Indiana was nothing short of spectacular. We're talking about a player who broke 62 records and averaged 19, 2 points, 5, 7 rebounds, and 8. For assists per game, those aren't just good numbers. They're the kind of stats that make you do a double take. She's known to make everyone around her better.
If I think of your game, maybe the signature thing that stands out above all else is your rim running, kind of dashing across the floor. Flash is the nickname. Even as a rookie, there's no better player in this league at finding players like that than Caitlin Clark. I mean, that's something you've been successful at in all your career, but what do you anticipate that being like, getting to play with somebody that has the vision and the ability to make those passes happen?
The signature thing that stands out above all else is your rim running. Kind of dashing across the floor. Flash is the nickname. Even as a rookie, there's no better player in this league at finding players like that than Caitlin Clark. I mean, that's something you've been successful at in all your career. But what do you anticipate that being like, getting to play with somebody that has the vision and the ability to make those passes happen? But it's not just Clark. Scoring that's got Howard excited. It's her versatility on the court. Howard pointed out that CLK can spread the floor by shooting and dictate the floor as a point guard. And let's not forget about those passes. Howard called Clark an amazing passer, which is high praise coming from someone who's played with some of the best in the game. They're going to be Caitlin Clark Blast Show, Caitlin Clark Class Show. So it's going to be phenomenal playing with a point guard, like you said, that have a good vision on the court, because that's like as soon as she get the ball in her hand, she throwing it up because she already see the person down the court before she even get the ball in her hand. So that's one thing I love about her vision on the court. I really can't wait to catch all those passes. And give her all this is that she needs, speaking of which, Howard's no stranger to sharing the court with elite guards. She's run alongside legends like Sub Bird and dynamic scorers like Sabrina Ionescu. So when Howard says she sees that same potential in Clark, you better believe she knows what she's talking about. But here's the million-dollar question. How will Clark transit her historic freshman season into an ever better sophomore year? That's where Howard comes in. Her experience and leadership could be the key to unlocking Clark's full potential at the next leave.
I'm sure every team would have loved to have your services. So why is Indiana and this opportunity the right one for you?
I just feel like I'm supposed to be here. And God worked in mysterious ways, and he put me back where I started. And like I said, we still have unfinished business since 2015. So
Howard's been there, done that. She understands the grind of long season, the pressure of playoff basketball. For a young player like Clark, that kind of mentorship is invaluable. Howard can help shoulder the load, taking some of the pressure off Clark's shoulders and allowing her to find her footing in the league. I'm sure every team would have loved to have your services. So why is Indiana in this opportunity the right one for you? I just feel like I supposed to be here and got working mysterious way, and he put me back where I started. And like I said, we still have unfinished business since 2015. So, and let's not forget about the on-court chemistry. These two could develop. Howard's versatility as a forward is the perfect complement to Clark's playmaking skills. Imagine Clark threading needle-like passes to a cutting Howard for easy buckets, or picture Howard setting rock-solid screens to free up Clark for those long-range logo three, as she's famous for. One analyst put it perfectly. Howard's versatility as a forward will allow Clark to utilize her playmaking skills effectively, creating a potent offensive duo for the Fever. And that's exactly what Indiana needs. This team has been rebuilding for a while, and the combination of Howard's championship experience and Clark's vision and energy could be the spark that ignites Indiana to get to the next level. We have a young group that's hungry and ready to win a championship. We added new pieces, so I'm really excited about that, and I just can't wait to get things going. And helping this young group learn and tell them this is what it takes to win the championship. And at the end of the season, that's what we're going to be holding up. But here's the thing, building a championship team takes more than just star power. It takes chemistry, hard work, and a willingness to put the team first. And that's where Howard's leadership comes into play. She's not here to compete with Clark for the spotlight. She's here to help Create a winning culture to show the young players the sacrifice needed to succeed at the highest level, even speaking about mentoring All-Star center Aaliyah Boston. Are you ready for the most exciting part? The energy in Indiana is electric, and fans are counting down the days until they can see Howard and Clark take the court together. So, how far can this team really go? All right, let's talk about Natasha Howard's game plan for turning the Fever into a powerhouse. Well, Howard's got a blueprint for success, and it's not what you might expect. Issa T, she's not just focused on X's and O's, she's laser focused on something that might surprise you. Trust. At her introductory press conference, Howard dropped this bombshell: we got to make sure we trust each other. We trust each other. We can go a long way. It's not just about talent. It's about building a rock-solid foundation of trust among teammates.
I think it was day one when I got this job. Kelly and I were on the phone, and we had two things on our to-do list: re-sign Kelsey Mitchell and bring back Natasha Howard. We have been focused on this day and this moment since the day we started this process.